Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing? This is Dr. Andre Fullwood. This is Sound Mind Coaching. We are a half hour earlier because I have to be somewhere. So, all right, we're going to get started. We're going to get started on today. Please like, please share. Let everybody know that Dr. Andre is on. We are talking about today is positive attitudes and effective tips to change negative thinking. So we're going to get started. We're going to get started, and we're going to go ahead and press forward in this. Please like, please share, and let everybody know. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this because I want to be done at least by 7:15, 7:20. Give you some nuggets here, and then we will pick back up on next Friday. Do have some changes too as well that's coming down. I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to shift my Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and actually begin to talk about the things when you're talking about emotional intelligence for beginners. I'm going to start doing that on Free Me Fridays. That's what I'm going to do. Start doing that on Free Me Fridays, so it won't be as long. It's going to just be, shorter versions of it. But that's what the shift is. So beginning next Friday. So what I teach tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We'll pick back up on that and continue on Free Me Fridays. Okay, just makes sense. Just makes sense to me. So, and then kind of frees me up for other things that I can do on Saturday mornings. All right. Okay, so let's get started. So what we're going to talk about today, we're talking about positive attitude and effective tips to change negative thinking. It is very important. I don't know about you, but people who have a negative mindset, just their words is I always use this analogy. It's like kryptonite. And the thing that I think that bothers me the most is people who say that they're saved and they have this mindset of negativity, failing to realize that life and death is truly in the power of the tongue. Today is Friday. This is Free Me Friday. You can speak freedom to situations that are dead. You can speak freedom to things that you feel that you are locked in or people have controlled you. You can break free of those things if you just believe in what you speak. What you release out of your mouth has life. Even now, what I'm projecting to you, what I'm about to release to you is things of life to help you be a better person. I'm not speaking death to you. I'm not speaking something that's going to keep you bound or anything of that nature. But let's get started before I start preaching here. So in order for you to have positive habits, you have to have positive thinking. Just makes sense. You can't have positive thinking unless you have positive habits. It's a requirement, ladies and gentlemen. It's a requirement to have positive thinking if you want to have positive habits. You can't have negative thinking and have positive habits. They clash. Okay? They clash. So those things can't exist. Can't exist. So what's the power of positive thinking? The power of positive thinking. I hope I look good in this vision. I'm doing this from my iPad for the first time. So you might think that any subject related to positive thinking might be covered mostly by psychologists or life coaches. Well, you might have never thought that the medical community might actually start looking into the topic, but they do, and the results are pretty surprising because according to the Mayo Clinic, right, positive thinking provides you with many benefits, including, now we're talking about the medical field. Listen to what they say. Positive thinking lowers your rate of depression. Doesn't that make sense? People who are depressed, do they talk positive? Is their outlook positive? No, it's all negative. It's all negative. Positive thinking gives you, what else does it do for you? It gives you longer life, ladies and gentlemen. Positive thinking, it lowers your rate of depression. It gives you longer life. Positive thinking also lower your stress levels. Hear me. Okay, hear me. It lowers your stress levels. Watch this. Positive thinking improves your cardiovascular health. I said you have a beautiful mind. Be terrible to waste. Don't waste your mind. Your mind produces things that gives you a longer life. Positive thinking improves coping skills during times of stress. So it is extremely important. It's extremely important, ladies and gentlemen, that we begin to have a positive thinking. If you want long life, you want something. I was talking to one of my cousins who was in town the other day, and he was talking about a cousin that's on his side of the family. It's like she just hates life. Just pick fights all the time. Just angry with how their life turned out. And if that is you, my question, what are you going to do about it to change it? Because you still have life today. You may not like things that happened to you in your past and the decisions you made. And you know what? A lot of things you probably weren't even aware. A lot of things probably you was caught up in a cycle or something, and you didn't even know it. Maybe you was yearning for something. Maybe you was lacking for something, and you sought out other means of trying to fulfill something, and you don't even know why you were doing the things that you were doing. It happens. But as long as you have breath, take a deep breath. That's life. That is life. Thank you, Father, for waking us up this morning. Thank you, Father, that when you allow me to do what I've normally been doing for the past 59 years. Thank you, Father, that when I heard the alarm, it wasn't the alarm that woke me up. It was the spirit of you flowing in my lungs that gave me life. The alarm just time to get up. Thank you for having an ear to hear the alarm and then have to think twice. That when I put my feet on the ground, that first of all, that I'm able to put my feet on the ground, it's not even a second thought that I'm going to stand up and what we're going to do, we're going to go to the bathroom. That's what we're going to do. But a lot of people might say, how is cardiovascular involved in all of this? I'll give you some scientific stuff here. Your cardiovascular health depends on a lot of factors. It depends on your diet, the hours of sleep you get, the degrees of stress you face, and more. Negative thoughts fuel negative emotions. You got to tune in on Saturdays. Your emotions come from a thought. Your thoughts are created. Your emotions are created from a thought. Negative thoughts fuel negative emotions, which in turn causes stress to arise early in your brain. For example, you are in a bad traffic and your thinking is already in a negative state, right? So you're already adding stress to your brain because your thoughts keep conjuring ideas and memories that trigger stress. And because of that, you might not be able to deal with the traffic well. This means more stress, which in turn means that you exacerbate your negative emotions, and eventually you have a cycle. You got a cycle going. That's what happens. Eventually you have a cycle going. So we got to change that. So people, they come into work. What's wrong with you? Because they feel in some type of way. They come in with an attitude. And I'm like, stay away from me. I'm not the one. I'm not going through that. People have bad attitudes. No. No. Not doing it. Take that somewhere else. Take that somewhere else, ladies and gentlemen. But we're not doing it. Not doing it at all. Okay. Today is a new day. Today is a day we've never seen before. And I don't know, many people probably just don't count their blessings. But I do. I do. And I try to tell the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, thank you for another day. So watch this. When your body is under a lot of stress, it increases cholesterol and blood pressure levels. That in turn affects your heart. So positive thinking is not just essential for good mental health, but contributes to good physical health as well. So how exactly can we create a positive mindset? How can we create a positive mindset? Because once you're able to create this mindset, you're going to experience more peace. You're going to experience more peace in your life than you ever had before. I guarantee you. There's going to be a calmness about life, how you see life, how you live life. So tip number one, start your day off with affirmations. Start your day off with affirmation. The tone you adopt in the morning can dictate how the rest of your day might proceed. Command your day. Speak life affirmations. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't speak affirmations. I just live it. My mind is, I just wake up positive. I just wake up. This is a good day. I wake up rejoicing. I'm there. I'm in a good mood. And I do everything I can not to let life frustrate me. Didn't come overnight, but I've learned. So why not set a positive tone for yourself? In fact, have you ever had an experience where you woke up in a state of panic, wondering if you forgot to complete an important task, or if you are late for something, only to realize that nothing has happened and it was just your nerves, my mind? Or have you woken up once in such a state of stress that you could not even finish the coffee you made for yourself? All of these situations have occurred because when you start your day poorly, the emotions trickle over to the next day. So eventually you are living in a constant state of stress and negativity. It amazes me how people get so triggered so easily in one little thing. Steamrolls. It controls the rest of their day. It just amazes me. So eventually you are living in a constant state of stress and negativity. Affirmations are simply phrases that help you focus on positive emotions. So every time you wake up, start the day with phrases like, today I shall face my day with courage and positivity. Today might be challenging, but so is any day of the week. I shall not let these let these challenges change my perspective of the world and create negativity. Are y'all with me? Listen, even those who catch the replay, I am an incredible person. And despite today's events, I will not look down on myself. Today is going to be a good day. I'm going to be awesome and nothing is going to convince me otherwise. These are examples of affirmations. So you can create your own positive affirmations depending on the situation. Okay? These kids ain't gonna stress me out today. I'm gonna handle their behavior. I'm gonna do that. First of all, I'm praying I ain't gonna have to deal with any of them. But if I do, I'm gonna stay calm and cool, collective, talk to them. That's what I'm gonna do. Number two, think about the good things. Think about the good things, no matter how small they are. So watch this. Don't wait for a big moment to occur in your life. Look at every small event as another positive contribution. Okay? Look at it as another positive contribution. Here is the reality of life. No matter how much you want to avoid obstacles, right? You're going to encounter them every day. So how are you going to juggle them? How are you going to juggle the obstacles that come? How are you going to double dutch? How are you going to jump rope and skip through all the obstacles that come through your way? Every obstacle is something that has the potential to add to a whole pile of negative things. So eventually you will feel that your life has too much negativity in it. What you are experiencing is small things that have accumulated to become something intimidating. The same rule applies with the positive things in your life as well. So keep collecting them, no matter how little they seem. Eventually, the number of positive things will add up to become a dominating presence in your life. In your life. Tip number three. Tip number three. Don't let the dark situations get you down. Don't let the dark situations get you down. Teach yourself to see the humor in things. Teach yourself to see the humor in things. That's it. Teach yourself to see the humor. Okay? Remind yourself that the situation you are in is going to get better eventually. After all, life goes on. Life goes on. So regardless of what's happening to whom, life is a continuous ticking clock. Time doesn't stop. Don't let a situation keep you paralyzed, keep you frozen in time. Tomorrow is Saturday, and you're still stuck on what happened on Tuesday. So what happened to all those hours, all those minutes, all those seconds that kept you paralyzed on a situation that happened 72 hours ago, 96 hours ago? Make a joke out of things that have happened to you and move on. Move on. You can even say, I can't even believe I allowed myself to get caught up and constantly thinking about that mess. Okay? Tip number 4, failures are lessons. Failures are lessons. Okay? Success finds those people who are not brooding over their failures, but are finding ways to move past them. But the only way that can happen is if they choose to learn from their failures. Have you learned from your failures? Do you take the time to learn from your failures, learn from your mistakes, even though you could have made 56 mistakes in the same thing? Sooner or later, hello, somebody, help me find out why I keep going through and making the same things again. Sometimes you have to ask yourself that question. Why am I keep making the same mistakes? Why do I keep finding myself repeating the same thing? So what is it about me? First of all, praise God for the revelation of finally thinking, why am I keep going through the cycle? Okay? When you can ask yourself that question, now you're beginning to start taking a deeper look at your life, your decisions, and everything else. You can seek help, you can seek a coach, you can seek whoever. You seek God first and foremost. You see a life coach, you see somebody like myself. I have clients, I'm coaching through, helping them coach through life, helping them transition through some things, some stumbling blocks, their mindset. They're even seeing their mindset change. Hmm. But the only way that can happen is if you choose to learn from your failures. Do you choose to learn from your failures? Because I always say they're life lessons. They're life lessons. So you too should approach your failures with tact and wisdom. Let your failures teach you a lesson. Let them teach you a lesson, not to let them define your life. Watch this. About Bill Gates is defined by the success of Microsoft because he let that be the focus of his attention, right? So if he had let his failures define him, then he would be in a different position rather than on the Forbes list of billionaires. Microsoft. Who knows how many people have turned them down? How many investors? How many people didn't believe in Windows? And we already know his financial, status. Watch this. Tip number 5. Watch out for negative self-talk. Watch out for negative self-talk. It's not unusual for people to berate themselves when they commit an error. How many times have you thought, I shouldn't have done it? I was going to fail anyway. See, that's their hindsight, but I was going to fail anyway. What? No, you wasn't. You didn't know that, but because you tried something, you failed. Well, I knew it was going to work anyway. Is that you? Is that your mindset? Those are thoughts that you say to yourself when you tried something and didn't succeed at it, or you might have thought one of these critical thoughts. Watch this. Why do I even bother with such things anyway? What am I doing? I should have just stuck with what I know. Then you don't grow. You don't grow. How can you expect to grow? How can you expect to expand in this precious life that you have? And you're afraid to try. People who are afraid to try, they stay stuck in comfortability. And sometimes envy and jealousy is birthed from your comfortability because you see other people, they're not afraid to step out of the boat. They're not afraid to just do it. The Nike slogan. They're not afraid to just do it. And people who just do it, they're not afraid of failure. They're not afraid of failure. So every time you create a negative statement about yourself, you are forcing your brain to think in a particular manner. And we don't need to go into the details of how your subconscious is going to latch on to those negative thoughts and run with them. So what should you do if you are faced with negative self-evaluations? You turn them into positive ones. See, all the stuff I'm saying, you have the ability to do. Why? Why you say that, Dr. Andre? Because it's your will. It's a will to choose. I'm going to start speaking life. I'm going to start making lemonade out of lemons. Or I'm just going to continue to suck on lemons and just make a sorrowful face. I'm going to make some lemonade. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar to it. And it's going to be sweet. But all this is up to your will. This is up to your will, ladies and gentlemen, to do this. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay stuck. It's a choice. It really is. You don't have to think negative. It's a choice. It could be a habit that you don't even know that you're just prone to negative thinking. You're prone to speaking death and not life over your situations and over yourself. Maybe you didn't know how to speak affirmations to you. But I just read, for those who came on, go back to replay, how it affects your heart and how you cause more stress on your heart. You cause more stress on your life. Your body shifts when stress hits you. Okay, so we have to use positive attitudes. We got to change our negative thinking. Okay, something didn't work. Okay, fine. What will? You're not a failure. You're only a failure. Watch this. Y'all probably saw this somewhere. You're only a failure when you stop trying. When you stop trying. No. Don't let no one control your life but you. Don't let life, many of us are a product of our past experiences and the words out of our mouth. Okay? I've made many mistakes. I've had many failures. But none of those things stop me from doing what I'm doing. None of those things stop me from growing. Sound Mind Coaching was birthed out of what I've been through. There were some things I needed to break a cycle that was horrific in my life. All right, let's go. We've got a few more minutes. So let's say that you tried to do something and it failed. So rather than thinking, I shouldn't have tried, this is what happens when you don't stick to what you do. Okay? I don't know why I tried that. I should have just, so now, see, this is that hindsight bias. Look it up so you get an understanding of what it is. But that's your excuse for not trying. Instead of giving yourself an attaboy, if you will, for trying. Why are you beating yourself up? Because you tried. I don't understand that. Watch this. Let me give you a quick definition of hindsight bias. Hindsight bias is a psychological phenomenon that allows people to convince themselves after an event that they accurately predicted it before it happened. Did that make sense? It is a psychological phenomenon that allows people to convince themselves after an event that they accurately predicted it before it happened. So you're trying to say, well, I already knew this was going to happen, but that was after the event. That's called hindsight bias. It's like taking a test, right? You're taking a test and say question number 3, you know, like, this is the answer. But you choose a different answer. And then you get your test back. And, oh man, I knew that was the answer. These are things that come after the event. Okay? The relationship, you're in a relationship, and then the relationship goes back. Man, I should have known, man, because I saw this and I saw that. But you still went with the relationship. That's hindsight bias. Okay? Predicting an event after the event happened. So that's what happens if I do it this way. Interesting. I will remember this and make sure I don't do it this way in the future. That's where our mind should happen if we attempted something and it didn't work. Or even if I do, I will plan better. Let's look at my other options. In the things that I do, and there's still books I have to edit, and I got on myself for that. I got a coworker said, Andre, I need you to stay on me every day about me writing. I said, okay. But then I'm thinking yesterday, I got 2 books that just need a little bit more editing and they're released. Why I haven't done them? There's no excuse, but I'm not going to beat myself up. But now I'm making myself aware, get these out so that these books can help people. So that means I have to strategically be intentional and work on them so I can release these. It's just that simple. There's no excuse. Ain't no sense beating myself up about, but what am I going to do about it? I got somebody asking me to hold them accountable. So maybe I should have somebody hold me accountable as well. It's okay. It's life. Learn from them. Learn from them. Okay. Notice the difference here. In the second response, you acknowledge that a mistake has been made, right? But you see it in a positive light. You allow it to teach you rather than defeat you. Make sure that you're not denying the fact that you have made a mistake. Denial has its consequences. So what is so bad about denial, you ask? There's a lot. There's a lot. A lot of people are in denial. It's funny how I listen to people talk. And when you address them with something, then they come back with something about you. Or they avert something. But what about all the good I do? Okay, that's fine. But let's talk about the thing that you could work on to make you better. Because a lot of people have a hard time looking at themselves. So it's funny how I hear people talk about other people, talk about other people's flaws, talk about other people's mistakes, but you don't want to deal with your own. Hello, somebody. So one of the things that denial prevents you from doing is seeking help. We are not all perfect. I'm not perfect. Sometimes we need help in our endeavors. That does not mean that we are weak or unskilled. It just means that we might need an extra pair of hands or more to help us with our project. Okay? So denial also prevents us from acknowledging problems. If you feel that if you feel that there are no problems, even when there are, then you won't learn to grow or deal with them. Eventually, those problems worsen and affect your life immensely at a later time. That's why we need counseling. That's why we need to really, people, you know what? People are really afraid to self-examine themselves. They don't want to look at the ugly things that are in their life about themselves so that they can become better. Okay, here's a fact about, you know what I'm saying? It's the self-evaluation. Yes, I've done a lot of good. Yes, I do a lot of good. But here are some areas that I want to work on about me. About Andre. And I'm going to be honest, I believe why I'm effective in pastoring is because I have empathy for other people, for other people's struggles, their hangups, their hiccups, their failures. Because I've been there. I understand how people look at you and still mark you because of the things of your past. As if I'm still living there. I'm not living there anymore. I'm in my now. I'm in my now. And maybe that's why he's giving me a heart to just love people of all walks of life. Because there's good in everybody. And there's good in you. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, there is good in you. When he created man, he said, at the end of the day, the 6th day, he said, it is good. You are good. If nobody's ever spoken that affirmation in your life, I am speaking it to you today. Dr. Andre D. Fullwood Sr. is speaking. You are good. You're good. Regardless what your mother said, regardless what your father said, you are good. All right, I gotta hurry. Okay. There are 2 things you can do with a problem. You can choose to face it and learn to handle it, or you can choose to ignore it and watch it dismantle things in your life. That is so critical. Okay? Among the two options, the ideal choice is obvious. Focus on the present. I can't say this enough. Focus on the present. People often misunderstand this advice, okay, that I'm about to give you. Think about that. By being focused on the present, they have to be aware of every ticking minute that passes by. That means, so if I'm in my now, not if. Andre D. Fullwood is in his now. So every minute, every second, every hour, I have to be present in. Oh, that's good. Some of us are not present in our now. No. There are people today that I'm going to encounter that their now is yesterday. Missing every opportunity of now. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, let's move. They think by being focused on the present, they have to be aware of every ticking moment that passes by. But understand this, the idea of being in the present or practicing mindfulness, as people like to say, is that you don't let your mind wander toward things of the past or events of the future. You just stay in your now. Now, what I'm saying is, like, I have things to do tomorrow. Okay. I got a coach at 10. I got a client at 12. And I want to do yard work for my mother before the season really gets too cold. It's the perfect weather to do it. But that doesn't consume my now. That's just a future. Okay? That's like 24, like 30 hours from now. But it doesn't consume me. What happened yesterday was yesterday. You know, it's done. It's over with. In my now, I'm expecting to have a great day. I know I'm going to have a great day because I know whatever comes my way, I'm not going to let it affect my now. It may be a part of my now, but it ain't going to affect my outlook. It's not going to affect my jovialness, if you will. Okay? So the reason for this is that the things of the past have already occurred, and there is nothing you can do to change it. What has happened, whatever's been said, whatever you've done, it's done. It's sad. But what about the things that are yet to happen? So let's use these steps. I got to come to a close here. I got to find, okay. I think I can get through. Okay. What time is it? 7:15. All right. So step 1, can you deal with the situation? If you can deal with the situation, we're going to move on to step 2. Okay? Step 2 is, have you already thought of ways to deal with the situation? Okay? So if you can handle the situation, step 1, then step 2 is, have you already thought of ways to deal with the situation? Now, watch this. If you haven't been able, if you're not able to deal with the situation, then continue with your day and bring your mind back to the present. Okay? If you can't deal with the situation, continue with your day and bring your mind back to the present. In other words, I'm going to put this on the shelf because there's nothing I can do about this right now. So I'm going to stick it up on the shelf, and I'm going to continue in my present. Now, when I said about step 2, have you already thought of ways to deal with your situation? Then you continue with your day and bring your mind back to the present. But if you haven't thought of ways to deal with the situation, then we go to step 3, which is, can you come up with recommendations, ideas, or solutions to deal with the situation? Okay. So 1, can I deal with this situation? Okay. Yes, I can deal with the situation. Now, have I thought about ways to deal with the situation? And if I haven't thought about ways, then what I'm going to do is Can I come up with recommendations or ideas or solutions to deal with this situation? So as I'm asking myself these questions, okay, yeah, this can be done, that can be done, Now I'm gonna move on to step 4 is, do I have a plan of action? Do I have a plan of action? If I don't, let's create one. And then everything leads back to step 5. Continue with your day and bring your mind back to the present. Okay? So when you allow the past or present to occupy too much of your time in the present, then you might not perform well or achieve much in the present. Let me say that again. We're going to chew. We're going to stop and chew on this. When you allow the past or present to occupy too much of your time in the present, then you might not perform well or achieve much in the present. Have you ever just, like yesterday, can you just think back of a time throughout the day yesterday where your mind just was stuck? Okay? You were stuck on A, whatever A is. And you had to, hopefully you had to bring yourself back into the now. You had to get yourself, wait, let me see. I'm spending too much time thinking about this. Let me bring my mind back from wonder. I'm just wandering all over the place. See, when your mind wanders all over the place, you're not accomplishing much. Okay. Here comes accountability. Have a positive circle of friends. Let me meet your friends, and I can tell you what your future looks like. You might have heard that phrase repeated before, and for a good reason, since it does bear some truth. Who are your friends? Who's in your circle? I'm gonna tell you now, that's going to determine your growth or the lack thereof. So when you surround yourself with friends who are positive influences in your life, you in turn improve your positivity. You know why? Because first of all, they ain't gonna want to be around you. So if you want me around you, you got to change your thought process. You either gonna let me help you because I can't do this. So there's a study conducted by Harvard psychologists as an example. The study was conducted over a period of 20 years. And the results show that happiness is greatly influenced by your social circle. In other words, you might very well be the company you keep. So when you surround yourself with positive people, their positivity seeps into your life. You become a sponge, absorbing their attitudes and eventually adding certain quirks to your own personality. You ever find yourself saying things that other people say? Now, hopefully they're positive people. They're positive influences, and what they say have attached themselves to your own personality. People that you listen to, people that you grow from, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So have friends who support you and accept you for who you are. Have friends that are not afraid to put you in check. Okay? They don't care if you get mad. They love you enough to tell you the truth. They love you enough not to watch you go down this rabbit hole of thoughts. Look, you need to stop this. When you get out your pity party, call me. Hence, surround yourself with people, okay? Positive people. So your positivity in life can increase. Additionally, you can also find people who can act as your mentors. Not somebody that's just going to keep hearing you play the victim. It could be your parents, siblings, friends, or even your grandparents. Being in the company of positive people will allow you to learn from their attitudes. They might even be able to share some of their worldly wisdom with you. Okay? That's it. That's it for today. That's it for today. Positive attitudes and effective tips to change negative thinking. This is Coach Doctor, Andre Fullwood, pastor, apostle, all these things, all these hats, father, all these things. Um, bless you today. Thank you for tuning in to Sound Mind Coaching. This is Free Me Fridays. I believe that I've given you some stuff that's going to free you, giving you something. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Giving you some stuff that's going to help you change from this negative thinking. It's going to stop you from stressing. It's going to stop you from doing some things that really that's causing harm to your body, it's causing harm to your heart. Okay. You know what? I'm going to say this. Your positive outlook on life has a scent. It has a smell like fresh fruit. You know, you go in the market and you pick up a fruit and you smell it, you know, see it's fresh. You go in the fruit market, you smell the freshness, the aroma of all the fruits. I don't want to smell like rotten fruit. What does rotten fruit smell like? Somebody with negativity of mindset. They got a negative mindset. They have a fixed mindset. And I thank God that he's brought me through the journeys he's brought me through, because I have a growth mindset. I always want to grow. I always want to learn. I don't know it all, but I want to learn more. I'm not fixed in my mindset where someone can say, hey, have you thought about it this way, that way, whatever? I'm open to those things. Okay. It's a fixed mindset. Does that mean that's an open mindset, growth mindset? So I want to grow. So all right, y'all, tune in tomorrow. Covering some more of, where am I at tomorrow? Let me think. Tomorrow, I've been teaching over the past, since August 19th, been teaching on growth. Oh my God, emotional intelligence for beginners. Okay. So tomorrow, let me see what I do here. I talked about developing emotional awareness, or developing awareness of your emotions. Do you not know? A lot of us do not. We're not aware of our emotions. Not aware. Okay, I know where we're at tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about managing emotions. There's a 5-second rule. There's a 5-second rule for taking action and shifting your state. Okay. So if you miss any of these and you want them, just shoot me a message or something, and I will send you all the links. I do have a YouTube page of Sound Mind Coaching, and that's all you have to do is type in Sound Mind Coaching. When you see the little logo there with the man with the magnifying glass on his brain, that is me. If you have a problem finding it, also let me know, and I will make sure I get you these things. I've been doing this stuff and giving all this wealth of knowledge for free, but that's about to change. Glory be to God. So this is probably the last teaching. But like I said, I'm going to shift the Saturday teaching to next Friday. So what I teach tomorrow, I'm going to build upon the following Friday. So Free Me Fridays are now going to shift to emotional intelligence for beginners. Okay. Good morning, my brother. So please, if you miss any of this, because you catch it in, you're missing the foundation of what emotions are, how your every emotion that we have comes from a thought. Understand emotions are not negative. So when people say you're so emotional, you can be so emotional because you're always happy. They're always happy. They're so emotional. Why? Because I have joy and I'm happy and I'm at peace. So when you say they're so emotional, it's not always a negative thing. Being happy is an emotion. Okay. And your emotions, there's no right, wrong. This is all about the thought. Your thought creates your emotion. All right. So I got to go. Got to get out of here. Tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m. YouTube page, all over Facebook. I do have a Facebook page called Sound Mind Coaching. Check that out. Like it, follow, and then you can stay up to date. You can also catch a whole lot of other teachings, a library of stuff. So also Sunday, 2 p.m., Liberation Church. Oh my God, God is doing such a great thing. We are baptizing. Sunday. Oh, and I got a teaching, Minister Kevin, cousin Sylvia. I got a teaching on, I cannot wait to deliver. And I'm going to talk about this being baptized in Jesus' name only. Only if we would just study the word of God and do background research. Let me tell you. Oh, I'm going to be so giddy. I'm giddy now. That's an emotion. because I know what was about to be dropped on Sunday is so good. It's so good. But I know we're probably up to about 10 people being baptized, if maybe not a couple more. So I'm excited. I am excited. Matter of fact, Mr. Kevin, I don't know, was anybody in your family was getting baptized or not? Not sure. If so, please let Pastor Angela know or let me know. Either way, I got to go, y'all. Got to get ready. See my kids. Oh, but I hope you enjoyed Free Me Fridays. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you're in the area, come and then online. With the baptisms will be online also, because it's something monumental in the lives of the believers, something they can share with family members who may not be able to attend. And so we're looking forward to that. And then the following Sunday, we're having Family and Friends Day. It is going to be great, 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 great. God is adding, he's adding. Cousin Sylvia, let me tell you something. You can tell my cousin, Dr. Gavin, that just teach the word and God will add. To my evangelist over there in Pakistan, just teach the word and God will add. I'm learning that. I'm seeing it happen. We ain't got to do tricks and jump through hoops and all this other stuff, and we don't have to put financial burdens on the people so we can decorate a building. Glory be to God. Just feed his sheep. Do you love me? Feed my sheep. That's it. That's all. All right, y'all. I'm gone. Have a beautiful, beautiful Friday. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Hopefully, I'll see you, whether online, whether in person. But I want you to know that you have a beautiful mind, and it would be terrible to waste. Don't waste yours. Take care.